In the morning, wake up 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 in the morning, the swag in the morning, the swag in the morning.
Say with amazing grace.
It's us in the morning with the swag in the morning.
Say with amazing grace.
The swag in the morning, swag in the morning,
Swag in the morning time.
Welcome. It's the world's famous, yeah, I said it in my Mr. Magic's voice. It's world famous Swag in the Morning. I'm your brother, Prince Cree. And as you see, I'm rolling solo because my wife, Lady D, is normally the one that does the important stuff here. I'm just a loudmouth. I'm just a hype person. I'm just the one that's try to show off, but she's the brand. She's the face. She's the green-eyed bandit, my ride and live. She's my partner in crime, I guess. But let me tell y'all something. I'm excited because right now my good friends at the Peachtree Village International Film Festival, it's their 20th year. Clap it up for that, man. But that alone calls for a great celebration. Now I gotta rush through, and I'm gonna rush through this interview because this brother right here, and one of the things he said to me and off the air, he said, man, it's not even about me, it's about my actors. Clap it up for the J-Dub. J-Dub cares about his people. See, he cares about his people. Now I'm giving the name already. I'm putting everything before all that stuff. See, this is why my wife does all of this stuff. But before internet start tripping, because internet always there is a blessing and a curse. So let me go through this, man. This guy was born in the Big D. What up, though? I always want to say that. What up, though? Next door neighbor, or in the west side of Detroit, almost on the same block as Hitville. Y'all young people don't know what that is, right? I'm a little bit over your head. I know you wanna leave me, but okay, let me keep this job, right? The Big D, Detroit. Okay, the Lions is winning right now. I know he might be happy. I don't know, but he slid down on the West Coast, hanging out with Bill Dukes and them. So he just wanted to get a little fancy. One of the things I like about this guy, man, I'm reading his bio and I'm touched. His grandmama and them had the biggest. Okay, little Gen X and all these millennials. Yeah, it's gonna go over your head because y'all so used to Spotify, Lectrify, if that's something. iTunes and all that. His family owned one of the biggest record shops in Detroit. They're gonna get some hand claps. You know why? Because y'all don't understand what this means. Vinyl, okay? Before there was maybe 8 tracks, okay, maybe 45s, and y'all don't know when you put the music on, they go, you know, making that crackling, that good stuff. Right now, they can't even sell. They don't even know how to calculate the streams. Snoop is complaining. He had 1 million streams. He got a $35,000 check. Go back to the record stores. Grandma White, if she's still amongst the living, let's bring back them record stores, okay? This dude got a film out. Now, he did a film with, I believe, Forrest Whitaker. Now, I'm going to let him talk because keep it in mind, my wife normally is the bio reader. She's so elegant with this. Look. We both went to Eastside High School, you know, fair Eastside. Okay, I need to keep my job. All right. Joe Clark put me on the stage. I was the 300 on the stage. He kicked me out. All right. Yeah, I'm not proud of it, but we had the pleasure to represent Mr. Clark on the NPR tribute to him. My wife was one of his favorites. She stayed on the stage. I mean, in the audience looking at me like, bye. So I let her do all that, the elegant, the reading and all of that stuff. She's amazing at putting the dazzle on that. Clark was like, McIntyre, you want to be a rapper? Go to English. And I said, Mr. Clark, get off my back. I'm a project kid. We don't die. We multiply. I'm selling bricks and okay, let me not tell y'all my truth. But later on, I realized Clark was like a father figure to us. And I thank God for Mr. Clark. He really changed my life, believe it or not. His hard edge, the way he went through stuff. And then he allowed me to come back in and I blew it. You know what I'm saying? So he always giving us kids. Rest in peace, Joe Clark. Hand claps for Mr. J.C. Clark. Love them, love them, love them, love them, love them, love them, love them. So I just say that to let you know that I'm not going to do all the stuff Lady D does. I'm just going to get right into it. But before I get into it, let me just give y'all the swag coffee. Now, what that means is that I want to give you something to inspire some of the viewers right now. I want to give you something that you can go on. I don't give it no tea because I want you to wake up on this. I want you to go in your house and look around in your crib and I want you to find what's valuable in your house. There's gifts and calling in your house. There is a wealth and the evaluation in your house. That's why you get the attack a lot because you're a Bentley, you're not a hoopty. There is value in your house. One of my favorite books is Think and Go Rich. Napoleon Hill speaks about acres and diamonds, where the farmer was looking for diamonds. He was all over California looking for. He just said, "You know what? I'm gonna sell my land and I'm gonna move to California. I'm gonna go with the diamonds. I believe where the diamonds are." But there was acres and diamonds in his backyard. In the Bible, Second Kings chapter 4, it speaks about a widow, a lady, right, who husband died. And her husband died, and the debt collector was coming to her house. Bill collector, ringing your phone, scan your wife, that stuff. He was knocking on the door saying, "Look, lady, your husband owed me, and you need to pay me, or I'm going to put your sons into slavery." And so the lady was like, "What?" So she ran over to the prophet named Elisha, and the Elisha was there and said, "Woman, what does you want me to do?" No, she said, "Yo, he was rolling on the block with you, serving all that stuff with you." Okay, bishops and scholars. I'm not a Bible scholar, so y'all, if you want to get deep with me, see me later. But what I want to tell the regular folks is that lady was scared for her life, and the debt collectors was going to sell her sons to slavery. So she went up to Elisha and said, "Elisha, what can you do to help me? Because my husband was rolling out with you, laying hands on people and speaking in tongues and all that stuff, right?" And so he said, "What do you have in your house?" And she said, "This little bottle of oil." She downplayed it. And so Elisha said, "Go borrow some vases from your neighbors and your friends and go in the house with you and your sons and shut the door." Not that Marvin Sapp get the tires and shut the door stuff. She wanted him to shut the door. And then she wanted her to take the oil and pour the oil into these bottles. So she poured and poured, and it was filling up to the brim. And so she had so many bottles that's on her floor. And then she said to the guy, like, "Hey, they full. What else can I do?" And he said, "Put some, sell some, pay your debt, and the rest is overflow." The message I want to tell y'all family members is that there's overflow in your house. There's wealth and gifts inside of you. This is why my guest that's about to come on, J Dub, is going to tell you how he invests in these actors, because there's gifts and calling in each actor that's going to come on this stage. Ladies and gentlemen, by no means of hesitation, I want you to put your hands together for the incredible, the amazing J Dub.
What's up? What's up, brother?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Thanks
yeah.
for having me.
What's up, my brother?
What up, though?
What up, though? You can say it better than anybody up here, man. What up,
What
though?
up, though?
Thank you for joining me, man. Thank you so much for joining me. Listen, this project 313, I want to know about it. I also want to know about some of the things you did in the past. But first of all, tell everybody who you are. I mean, I said a little bit, but tell everybody what makes up J Dub in the 24 hours. Who are you, brother?
Well, I'm J. Anthony White. I am a screenwriter from Detroit, and I've been writing for years since '07, and well, actually before that, but I had actually did this movie Project 313 version of it then. Um, and like the newer version is much different from that one. I came up with it. I had an earlier version, which it was my introduction to filmmaking back then. So, and in that version, Project 313 referred to a housing project where two kids live. This in the new film, Project 313 has actually evolved and now represents a movement. It reflects what's happening in the city, where gentrification is changing neighborhoods, and we actually explore that in this film. Where on one hand, that brings positive development, but on the other, it often displaces lower income residents who live there for their whole lives. So I wouldn't really like call this necessarily a remake, but more of a reimagining for sure of the film. And I know you want to know about me, but I really wanted to get that point across about the film, because it's such an important film, and I think that it's going to resonate with audiences just like it resonated with the crew, our filmmakers, and the cast. But more about me, like you said, I grew up in actually grew up in a record store. We actually lived like two doors down from Hitsville, USA for like 6 years before we moved. So my whole life has been in entertainment, whether it be music, and now film. So yeah, I mean, it's been quite the journey. It's been there's been a lot of ups, a lot of downs
Yeah.
on the way. My mentor, Bill Duke, actually, I met him at the ABFF. I think it was like 2005, and he allowed us actually to show the trailer for the original Project 313 at his Actors Workshop. And he's actually one of the reasons why I ended up moving to LA. I actually came to the ABFF in 2007, and we had a project that we were working on, and one thing led to another. He set up a number of meetings. I was on vacation from my job. I ended up not going back home. So that project never got made, but it led to me actually moving forward and writing another project, which is the one we talked about off air, Pawn, which starred Forrest Whitaker, Ray Liotta, Common, Michael Chiklis. It was a thick cast. It was a pretty big film. So yeah, it was amazing experience. And like I say, it's all about the journey actually is more interesting than the stories, if you ask me.
Stand up comedy. Let's go there. Let's go there. I told you, look, my wife would have read it all, but I just read it and had it in my heart. Stand up comedy, writing comedy.
Yeah.
Um, your lane, or you just felt like, look, how did you find that niche? Like, where did that come from?
Well, I mean, my whole life, I've wanted to make people laugh. Even since right when I was born, I was making people laugh. So um, I felt like that was the way. I didn't really want to become a stand-up comedian, but I wanted to get my foot in the door as far as the business goes. And I figured I had this talent to make people laugh. So I was like, let me try it out. Let me see how I do as a comedian, and maybe I can take that and venture off into writing for a sketch comedy show, which I did, or even writing comedy films, which is what I started doing, writing comedy films. But that was about a 2 to 3 year journey. I actually opened up for a number of great comedians. Kool Aid from Detroit, rest in
Mm-hmm.
peace. Downtown Tony Brown, also rest in peace. Tony Roberts, who's now
Tony
like
Roberts,
blown
I
up.
saw that. Yeah.
He's an amazing,
Yeah,
amazing
he's one of my
comedian.
favorites, man. How was work?
Oh,
Talk about that now. Now you didn't caught me eyes with Tony. Look, working with him, how was that, man? How was that experience, man?
I mean, I learned a lot from him. The biggest thing that I learned from him was, um, you need to write movies, stop doing comedy. That's what he said. Because he had actually, read the script that I was working with Bill Duke on, and he was going to actually come on board and help with that project. And he said, one, stop doing comedy, stick to writing scripts. Two,
Mm.
get out of Detroit, move to LA, because I mean, you're writing some really, interesting material that you'd have a better chance if I went to LA and tried to pitch my projects than just sitting in Detroit. And this was before Tubi. This was before Detroit kind of blew up on the scene with the film business. So otherwise I would have stayed if it were like it is today. But
Okay.
I mean, basically working with him was amazing. Even when I came out here, I stayed with him for like 2 weeks until I could get my feet on the ground. So no, it was an amazing experience. I learned a lot from him as a comedian, but also just the business and just life in general in LA.
Wow. Pretty
Yeah,
interesting stuff here, man.
yeah, yeah.
Pretty interesting stuff. we got some we have a really a lot of things sort of in common, you know what I mean? And especially with the music. And I think because you have um a lot of things that you encounter, you know, family living down the street for from the Hitville studio,
Mm-hmm.
parents being involved, or your grandma being involved with the record stuff, and just taking the comedy, you know, with the music and the filmmaking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The thing about it is, I truly believe if you're that gifted, that's why I said what I said earlier. There's acres and diamonds in a
Yeah.
person that has
Absolutely.
a gift, man. Like, you know,
Absolutely.
you tap into what's inside of you, man. You're gonna prosper. And again, when I spoke with you, you said, "Hey, you know, I want to speak about me, man, but I want to make it about my actors." And I love that, man, when you did that, man,
Oh yeah, for
because
sure.
I see you got your crew. I see you got
And
your
the
crew with
crew.
you.
Yeah, and you know the I had amazing crew. I mean, Anthony Cuffey, for instance, he's a very talented director who I wanted. He produced the film, but I wanted him on board because of the fact that he was much more experienced than me as a director, very talented, and I just wanted to have somebody in my ear, you know, with that experience who could kind of guide me through that process. Charles Kennedy, he was the director of photography on the film. He's a director as well. Zachary Cunningham, he did
Mm,
DIT. He's a director as well. Our sound guy, Travis Williams, he just directed his first film. So there were a number of directors on this that actually were playing different roles, and they were MVPs in that role. And it really just it just made the whole experience a whole lot easier for me. You know, they had my back, and they helped guide me, you know, when I needed it.
wow,
Yeah.
wow, love it. Let's bring in the guys. Let's bring in the guys, man. Let's bring in my man, my man. Yeah, let's bring in the guys. Let's just
There
make
we
this
go.
right. I gotta put the. They gotta get. I gotta get some theme music. The sweetest thing that I ever known. Woo! Some actors. It's them actors behind that camera, though. Woo! Check it out. My man T1 in London. Talking about London, not the country. You know, let me tell you, put your damn hands together. You know, look, I know y'all. I know you say, "Yo, P, keep
Oh
your
man.
day job, my dude." What's up, family members? Thank y'all for joining in, man. You got a good guy, man, that's believes so much in you guys, man. So I already gonna say, I want anybody to jump in and tell me who you are, what you're about. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get that good visual on this thing here, man. Hold on, I need to get the right visual. Now that ain't good. That I don't want to do all that, man. Let me go here. Let me just do something because I want
There we
everybody
go.
to be in this, man. What's good, man? What's good, family member? Duwan, am I saying that right? Duwan?
Yeah, it's Dewan. Dewan.
Dewan. You
Yeah.
can correct me if you want, man. Don't because I'm over there and want to host with this mic, man. Don't mean nothing, y'all, bros. To you know, you can correct me. Dewan, how you feeling, man?
I'm feeling awesome. Awesome. It feels great to be blessed with this opportunity. Just even like just to be part of the project itself
Yeah.
was awesome. We don't get many like them here, where it comes with so many layers, and the story really has a true meaning, and you can connect. Anybody can connect to it because it has so many layers. It's like you can relate to it on different levels. It's not just black and white. You know, it's everything in between, and you can definitely. I feel like everyone could find something from this film to take away from, like to take away.
So, what is your character? What is your role in Project 313?
So my character, his name is Parrish, and he's he's in direct effect of of the gentrification that's going on. Um, he also has other elements that's going on where he's a caregiver, you know, so he has a lot on his plate, and he really doesn't know what his next step is.
Mm.
With a lot being on his plate, and he's like a senior in high school, and is he's really trying to figure it out. That's like who Parrish is. A young man trying to figure it out and still protect the ones around him.
Yeah.
Wow. So let me ask you, family, how long have you been into acting? Like, when did you get involved with that?
So literally at the age of 13, that was my very first stage play. I was in seventh grade, and it was a Christmas play. And honestly, I didn't even want to go up for it. It wasn't something that I actually thought about. Um, it was just like my teacher was like, "Oh, okay, we're going to do a Christmas play. We need people to volunteer, to read." And I guess then I was a good reader, so I was recommended to audition. And once I got the role, that's when I started to really take it serious. I'm like, okay, this is like kind of fun. And when it actually came time to when we performed it, my character had a monologue, and after performing the monologue, I had got a standing ovation. And so that was like, okay, I think this is like what I'm supposed to be doing. Like it just felt natural, it came so easy. And so I'm like, I believe this is what I want to do. And from that point, um, I had attended Detroit School of Arts. I had got into there, where I've worked on, Shakespeare, that kind of theater, and the passion from there had just continued to grow, and it transcended into film afterwards, later
Let
on.
me ask you something, because I actually started out acting on stage plays, like
Wow.
in theater, and I realized that theater, and Denzel Washington says this a lot, because you can be speaking to the guy at the end of the room. Like in theater, it can be, not to say, basically what he was saying is that if you do theater, doing screenplays with scripts in front of you, cut this and that, it's a piece of cake. You know what I mean? As far as what
Yeah.
happens on the stage, if you fall down, it becomes a part of the act. Like it's a
Yeah.
never stopping thing. And most actors starting the stage play, they flourish when it comes to the screenplay. Do you find that having that experience on stage plays makes it a little bit more easier or challenging when it comes to the screenplay? What's your
Yes.
take on that?
So diving into the film world was a big difference. I remember when I first got the script for my first like lead in a film, I was like trying to cram and memorize all of the information at one time, like how I would try to do for like a stage play. The object of the goal is to have your lines memorized as fast as possible, so you can then memorize your blocking. Where you're supposed to stand, and your cues and other people's blocking, and things like that. So I remember when I first got my first film script, I was definitely trying to cram a lot of information. And then I realized like the process that we take, we're working on this, like we may work on maybe 2 or 3 scenes, so, day by day. So it's like once you really lock in on those scenes and you get those filmed, you can kind of delete that information out of your brain and then focus on a more important part of the script, like it's something that would require more focus, as opposed to a stage performance where you have to memorize the entire production,
Yeah.
so it
Wow.
is
Well said.
easier that way.
Well said. So let's go to the boss man here. I want you, because I'm gonna do an individual like this. Casting, casting Dewan. What made you get to that decision that this is the guy for this part?
Well, I had actually auditioned him for the role that London is playing initially, and just seeing his demeanor. He's got great screen presence, but I felt like in his audition he just fit the other role much better. So,
Mm,
and at the end of the day, it was the right decision because he brought it in that role, and then London really killed it as his best friend. So whenever I'm casting, I'm not only looking for great acting, but I'm also looking for screen presence. And I think that, all of our actors, had great screen presence. Like whenever they're on the screen, you can't take their eyes off of them, or you can't wait to see them in the next scene. So that's what I look for. And Dewan had all those qualities. London has all those qualities, and the other four, main actors, they had all those qualities. So yeah.
Thank you, man. Definitely appreciate that. So Dewan, look. I told you, my wife is the bio person, and all of that stuff. But you from Detroit too. What up, though? Like you from the Big D as
So,
well. Yeah, what up, though? Growing up in Detroit, because I've known, I'm starting to realize like Detroit is nothing to mess with, man. Either got some actors or it got some musicians. It's like it's just really crazy. And I'm looking at it and I'm skimming through it right now. It's a lot of here, man. You touched on a lot of stuff, Shakespeare and all of that stuff. Um, what's your goal as an actor? Like, because you guys, when you look at actors, man, it's like, to me, I think the sky's the limit. Is there anyone that you want to work with? Now I know you're working with the incredible, the amazing Mr. JW. I could JW. I'm a name giver, so if I'm giving you some names, but if is there any actors that you want to work with? Now I know London because I've seen him before, and I'm going to get to him later on, right? So I'm looking at him, and I'm looking at him in some movies he was in. I've seen him in some stuff, but any actors you want to work with, like major actors
mm,
that you don't mind? I just want to work with this guy. I want to work with her.
mm, uh,
Or let's just make it easier. Is there an actor that truly inspired you so much that, look, that's my guy? I've studied him since I was in school. Like any of your favorite actors that you, not to say you patting yourself behind, but that inspires you so much that you're saying, look, I wouldn't mind being in the film with the person.
um, someone who inspires me currently actually is Michael B. Jordan. The way
Mm,
like he started out as a childhood actor. A lot of people don't know. Like he started off doing cameos and guest appearances, and it was, he has a career of longevity. When you think about
yeah.
it, and it has only blossomed to become better. I mean, now he directs and produces and um, all of those things. So he definitely is like on my radar as far as like a person who inspires me because he kind of does it all. He does it all.
I agree. Very good choice, man. But I'm looking forward to this film, Jay. I can't wait, man. And I wish I could be at the film festival, which is going to be from the 16th to the 19th. Again, shout out to Peachtree Village. Glenn, these guys are good friends of mine, man. I love this guy, man. And every year is either I'm doing something that I can't make it down to be a part of this, man. But he's gonna share with me. This is why I say, all right, well, what can I do to be a part of it? And is to do this. So I'm gonna go to London, right? I'm gonna go into London. You know what I mean? And so London, how you doing, my brother?
I'm good. I'm good. How you doing?
You look so familiar. Now, I said I've maybe seen you in something before, but that's a good thing because you have a face of familiarity. Like I can look at you and you seem like I've seen you somewhere in a movie or something like that. But tell everybody about you and I'm gonna jump in with you, man. So tell everybody where you from and how long have you been actually acting? Let's get going, family.
Okay. Okay. So my name is London Scott. I've been acting as a youth. I did like church plays, nothing
Okay.
serious. I grew up in a Kojic household, so a lot of plays about Easter, Christmas, death, burial, resurrection type stuff.
Yeah.
Um, and when I got to college, I took a couple electives for music and for theater. Still nothing serious. And then I started making music. When I got out of college, I started making music. I made a couple mixtapes. Ended up moving to Dallas, Texas for 2 years. And I had a friend who was interested in comedy. And so he wanted me to go to an improv night with him. and he, I was thinking about going back to music, doing more music. I had brought all my equipment with me to Dallas, and he was like, if you study improv, it'll help with your delivery on the mic.
Mm.
I'm like, damn, like that's ingenious, like I never thought of that. So I'm like, yeah, I'll go with you. So I went, and after I went, when I left, I was like, you know what? Instead of going back to the music, I want to do voiceovers. I want to go into voiceovers. And so I was moving back to the D, and there was an audition for an audio show. And I submitted a tape. I was late. I submitted the tape probably about a week late. And I told them, I was moving. So, it was a little bit of difficult time. But I got casted. And they casted me for two characters. And so my first character, I'm not gonna give the story away too much, but pretty much I had to change up my voice for the two characters. And one of my characters dies like early in the show. And it doesn't matter if you're doing music or you're doing audio. When you're behind the mic, you got to bring that energy to where everybody feels it. It has to be real, it has to be authentic. So you kind of got to act. And so when I did that scene when I was dying, everybody in the room was like, whoa, like, you ever thought about acting? And I'm like, nah, like, and they like, yeah, you should try acting. So immediately I submitted an audition for a series on Amazon Prime and on Tubi. It's called McGraw Ave. I submitted an audition, got selected as one of the detectives. I did season 1, part of season 2.
Okay.
I think they're getting ready to drop season 3. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, London, that's one of my favorite joints, man. With my man, he has a series of the joints, man. I
Oh
love
yeah,
that, man. Yeah, dude is off the chain. You know
yeah,
what I'm
they doing
saying?
their
And I
thing.
love those. Yeah, 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 yeah. Let me just jump in with you. You said something that, um, and again, I'm into acting. I went to school in New York and went in Patterson, New Jersey. You know, and Mr. Clark, when he kicked me out, that's all I wanted to do is just be a character.
Okay,
And I always was told is if you can do an improvisation, if you can improv, Martin Lawrence says it a lot that he went to improv school. Like before he even got into doing anything like that, he had to learn to improv. And so that's if you can do that, man, I'm telling you, man, Eddie, everybody that's into acting, some of them dodge and go around and just want to be technical and all that. But if you can improv, man, is sky's the limit. I can imagine Jay just having
yeah,
great time with you guys because you say you one thing, and it's almost like you sort of spiritually connect with the director because all you need to know is what is it that he's trying to say. You know what I'm
oh yeah,
saying? And if you can incorporate yourself into it, man, it's just amazing, man. So salute to you in taking that challenge. The improv is a lot of people can't do it, man. A lot of people don't even know if something goes wrong, they're stuck like a deer in a headlight. But having
right,
that skill is
right.
amazing, bro. Is
Thanks.
amazing. Is amazing, man. So hats off to you, man. I
Yeah.
truly appreciate your gift. Now, was you talking about the character in Project 313 that you got two voices and you doing two people? Like, hold on, man. Let me. Is
No, that
that
was
what
it.
you
That
talking
was
about?
that was my first project years ago. It was an audio show called
Oh,
Facade.
okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I had to bring you up for a minute because now I'm super interested to know that because if you're doing multi characters, bro, look, hey Jay, the next joint.
I got
so
a script
so
for
you
it.
got hey, you writing comedy, you doing all this stuff, man, brother. So Jay, let me go ahead and move over to you. When cast in London, where was your mind at? What got you to the final point? We're saying this is that guy. This is that guy. Because I know you cast him, you was originally casting him for the part Dewan has, his character, but what made you say, you know what? I see something else in him. How did that happen?
It was his energy. I mean, flat out, his energy. I actually saw him in another film on Tubi because what I did was I was watching a number of like Detroit films because we used all Detroit talent, amazing Detroit talent. So I was going through the movies and I landed on him. Actually, no, the producer Paris Jones actually suggested that I check out a film that he's in, and that's when I saw him and I was like, yeah, his energy was just off the chain. And even in that, the role he was playing in that film, I'm like, it felt like he was Machete in that film. So I was like, that's the guy for sure.
It
and he
wasn't the
just
Big D, was it? It wasn't the Big.
huh?
Okay, y'all know where my head is at.
No,
Shout
it
out
was
to the Big
smoking
D.
good. Smoking good.
Okay, I
Yeah, that
saw
was
that one
it.
too. Yeah, I'm
That
gonna
was
go back
that.
and
That
watch
was
that.
it.
Big
Yeah.
D, yo, Detroit is running Tubi.
But
Hand claps for
it
Detroit.
is.
Big D is running
But
Tubi. Tubi, y'all should have stock in Tubi because everything is Detroit. Detroit, the Big D, the little D, the streets D. They get y'all this house and stuff. So when you found this guy and you said this is the guy, you cast him. Everything was like that, right?
yeah, I mean,
So
he just embodied the character. I mean, we didn't even really have to audition him because, he was just about it, just like Dewan was. I think I gave both of them the script, and they ended up reading the script and hitting me up the next day that fast. So,
Yeah.
and then we, have conversations with me being in LA and them being in Detroit. We have a lot of conversations about, what I expected, as far as, from the character or whatever. But I really didn't have to. They made it easy for me as a director because of their talent
that's what I was gonna
and
ask you.
again the energy that they brought. Because I mean, I told them from the very beginning, and the other actors, that like I'm treating this like it's a partnership. It's my job to make you guys look good, and in turn, it's your job to make me look good and us look good as a filmmaking crew. And I think I know they pulled it off. We pulled it off for sure.
Salute, 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 salute. Man, I'm excited. Can't wait for this to pop off. Can't wait for this to see. When I get a hold of it, I'm definitely gonna promote it.
Appreciate
I'm
it.
definitely gonna push it on my platform and talk to my people. I'm very familiar with a few people that's pretty much in the game, and Lynn and those guys can tell you, man. Is just I'm excited about helping, folks, man, and I'm truly can't wait. Because listen, I grew up in the housing projects, and I wrote a book. I don't have it. It's in the down in my library. I wrote a book called Once Upon a Time in the Projects, The Lost and Found, where I'm
I
talking
love
about
it.
my trauma, talk about my mental health, and the things that I've been through growing up into the projects. And then my next book is Breaking the Curse from the Pit to the Purpose. And it's all about project kids: Luther, Tracy
Yeah.
Morgan, Jay Z, Mary J. Blige, Fat Joe, Ghostface. I speak about project kids, how we evolved from trauma, Bobby Brown. So the book talks about that. I need to get with you, man. Maybe you can transfer this. And Lynn was going to do it. He wanted me to come and pitch it at the tent thing, but
Yeah.
I look, it's too
Hey,
much, man.
holla at
I
me.
just want to stay in a certain lane.
Holla at me. You know what I'm saying? But
Definitely want to
I'm gonna
holler
tell you
at you,
this.
man.
I got a t-shirt for you too.
No
So we
doubt,
need
no
to.
doubt. I'm sitting, I send you my address. I need one of
Yeah,
them
yeah.
t-shirts,
Send me your
brother, because that
address.
that t-shirt is hot, man. I appreciate it. Hey, look, let's go to the actors. I'm gonna go back to London. My bad, London. I want to cut you short, but time is of the essence because we have PVI, PIFF, whatever. Peachtree got me with a load of interviews this today. As an inspired actor, anyone you want to work with or anything, let just the stage is yours pretty much. You can talk, say what you want, say what you want. You want to inspire some young actors coming in. What advice would you give some of the young actors that are coming in? I know you're still young, you're still seasoned, you're just trying to get to the season. But what advice would you get some young fat folks your age and trying to get into acting? How would you encourage them?
Um, the first thing I would say is don't stop training. So I train under Sheikh Mohammed Bey. He's out of New York. He does classes in Detroit, New York, and Atlanta. And you got to keep your tools sharpened. Got to keep going. One of the biggest things to know in this industry, and I'm just getting started myself. Just get into new platforms, reaching new platforms. But never give up. And it's not a race. It's not a race. It's a marathon. I really believe everything happens for a reason, and everybody has their time to shine. And so I think Project 313 is going to do some big things for all of us. Well, I know Project 313 is going to do
Yes.
some big things for all of us. Me and Jay have had so many conversations in the past month, after post-production, on just trusting the process, on some Joel and B type
Right. Right.
type vibes.
I
Just
love
trusting
that.
the process, and things will work out how they're supposed to work out. And I feel like this film is doing just that. And like I said, just don't give up. What's meant to be will be. And so,
Love it. The
yeah.
stage is yours, man. Tell everybody how they can find you, give your IG and all that good stuff, man, because people need to connect with you, man, because when this film come out, they need to see those clips. They need to see folks to continue to support you. London, stage is yours.
So my name is London Scott on IG. You can follow me at It's London Scott. That's It's ITS London Scott. If you need to connect with me for bookings or anything, you want to just reach out and chop it up. You can also email me at L Scott Take 23. That's L Scott Take 23 at gmail.com. I'm always down to network. I'm a people person. I'm a Gemini to the fullest. Major Gemini energy. So I love people. I'm a people person. And yeah, man, only way is up. Only way
is up. That's what's up, family member. Stage is yours, Dewan. Give some advice to some young folks coming in. Share, because it's all about sharing. It's all about passing on that torch, even though you just got the torch or you just in the oven still yourself. But what advice can you give some folks that's coming through, my man?
The best advice I can give to younger ones coming in.
Up to one froze.
Oh, come on, don't do this to me.
That was about to be prolific.
I can tell it was about to go somewhere. It was about to go somewhere, man. And I felt that. I was feeling it. I was feeling it. I was feeling it. I was feeling it, man. Hope D1 can come in because I need people to share. I need him to share. I need him to share. Come on, family. But anyway,
coming back.
He's gone. He's gone. Oh, come on back in, family. But listen, I told you sometimes the internet can get to you, man. It can start messing with you, start playing around with you. Now look what it's doing right now. I don't even know what it's doing right now. What is it doing right now? All right. I'm excited for this project, man. Boss man, Brother Jay.
Yeah.
Share your information. The stage is yours, man. I know you wanted to make it about Dewan in London. And that's amazing about you, man. If you want to share some advice for some young writers and directors that are coming up from wherever they're from, man, what advice would you like to give them, man?
Well, for writers, I'd say the secret to writing is writing. When I started, it took a number of really, really bad scripts. They were great ideas, but bad scripts to that I would write before I was able to like really hone in on how to become a good writer. It took years, but it also took me just continuing to write. And as London said, trusting the process, but also working with other talented individuals like Bill Duke, my mentor. And also, you got to have a passion for writing. You really have to have a passion. You can't write thinking about money. You have to actually love to write in order to, for me, in my opinion, to be successful. Because if you're writing for the money, I don't think you're going to get anywhere. You got to really do it, for the love of it. And it's my go-to no matter, what's going on in my life, whether I'm excited, happy, depressed, whatever, that's my go-to. So that would be my advice. And also piggybacking off what London said, network your butt off, because the business is who you know.
Yeah. Indeed. Dewan, I'm sorry the internet wasn't trying to attack you, trying to not be our friend. But tell everybody, I wanted you to finish when you're giving some of your encouraging advice and then go right into how people can find you and follow you and stay connected to you, man. And I'm going to leave you guys out with some words of encouragement myself.
Gotcha.
Stage is yours.
So just a word of advice, like there's no such thing as a small role. Even starting out for anybody, no matter how old you are, how young you are, there's no such thing as a small role. Every role that was put in a film, in a production, in a play is intricate and is there for a reason. And a lot of times it's the smaller roles that make the bigger change in the film. So yeah, just keep that in mind. And I can be found on Instagram, Dewan Anderson on all platforms. That's Instagram, Facebook. My Gmail is andersondewan352@gmail.com. And I'm also on Backstage. That's where my credits can be found. A lot of my reels are also on there if anyone is interested to check me out.
No doubt. I also want everybody that's listening to this to download the Gyro Go app. JAROGO app, where it's a platform, black owned, with filmmakers and directors and authors, all are in here networking, and just please be a part of that, as well as this Peach Tree Village International Film Festival that's going down October the 16th through the 19th in Atlanta, Georgia. You will see me posting things about that. I'm going to leave you guys with some words of encouragement. Sometimes you got to just go off this glasses stuff and get uncool to speak good into people's lives. They always was said, one OG told me one day, it was a dope fiend growing up in the projects, and I kid you not, this is what he said to me. He said, brother, don't follow me. Follow great to become great. And it stuck with me. Follow great to become great. Because if you're going around with nobodies that's going nowhere, you're going nowhere. Embrace a director and a writer like JW, like Jay White, Mr. White. Attach yourself to a person that has resources that can help y'all grow further than where you are now. Because the problem with us in our culture is that sharing is something that we was never taught to do. But if you share, it helps you live forever. So sometimes when you trying to go to the grave with all of this inside of you, what use is it? Your idea will outlive you. So if something happens to Jay tomorrow, that film will forever be on this earth. You, Duan, you, London, will forever be on this earth. No one understanding that there's value inside of you. There's gifts and calling inside of you that it was given to you without repentance. You ain't earned it. It was assigned to you personally. So let no one tell you, you still doing that because you said it. The small things, Duan, sometimes it's the small things that has more relevant than anything, because the mustard seed was a small seed. And if God says, if you got faith as small as a mustard seed, that's all that counts. I encourage you guys to continue to soar high, because your best is yet to come. It's now. Your best is now. And Project 313, somebody's going to see that. Somebody's going to see it and going to say, well, thank you, Jay, for introducing some gifted individuals to the world. He's sharing his gift, and you guys are bringing it to the life. This is your brother. Until next time, man, I thank you guys for joining me. Go ahead, Jay. You get the final word, brother.
Can I just piggyback off what you just said? Because one of the things that, I tell people about this film, the actors and the people, who haven't seen it yet, is we don't want to just be seen. We want to be remembered. So that fits right in line with what you just said. But thank you for having us.
No doubt. No doubt. Salute to the incredible, the amazing Mr. J. We got to clap it up for us, actors. Come on, we got to give him some love. 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 Thank y'all so much, man. And
Thank you.
I'm going to pull out of pause, right? You got to say pause. I got to say pause, right?
That's your line, Dewan.
Hey, Dewan, you should have got me, man. What are you doing? It's world famous swag in the morning. I'm your brother, Prince Creed. Pause. That was a perfect time for the pause. Oh, man. Until next time, y'all. I love you to life, and there's nothing you can do about it but love me back. And in the process of loving me back, take a selfie and say to yourself, my life matters to the Lord. God bless.
God bless.
God bless.